chilly, which is awesome. There's Sarah. Huh? First purchase, car magnet, and a free magazine. What? I think this is the line for Jenny the Potter, guys. What? Jenny and Devin, what? Sandwich line. Crazy. Ravelry meetup. I'm eating wool. It's delicious. It's not really wool, but some lady thought Sarah was eating wool.
My weird addiction.
It's maple cotton candy.
I am.
Oh, there it is. You select. Amy's fangirling because Eric signed her bag. She's fangirling right now. Oh, there he is. Barn. What's it called? The event barn? The auction barn?
I think it's the auction barn.
It's pouring rain.
That's lovely.
Pouring. We're leaving. Amy's the only one with any money left, so we outvoted her. We have to go. Good times. Everyone, welcome to my Rhinebeck recap and haul. I'm going to attempt to do this literally as soon as I set up. My dog got off the couch and proceeded to find her noisiest toy. So if you've watched the last few episodes, you'll know. Sorry. So anyway, I'm the Reluctant Knitter. This is like podcast slash vlog slash whatever it is. I'm coming to you from Connecticut, where I live with my husband and my dog, Elizabeth Bennett, who's annoying. So anyway, I went to Rhinebeck with my two sisters, Sarah and Amy. And so I can't decide if I'm putting in the vlog before this or after this. It doesn't really matter, I guess. So you'll either have already seen it or are going to see it. But anyway, we had a really good trip, Rhinebeck, New York, the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. So we had a really good time. I'm just going to really quickly talk about what I'm wearing. This is the Le Moyeu shawl, or also called the Squishy shawl, by Nina Phillip of the Knitting Expat Designs. It's a triangular brioche shawl. And Liz, stop. Get a toy. Get a different toy. Okay, so the green here is Woolenvine in the Volca base, and the color is Neptunia. And I bought this at Gauge Intention a long time ago, 2015. I knit this back in 2016. So, I bought it at Gauge Intention in 2015. I think she was having a trunk show there, and it was like my first big yarny trip. My sister Sarah and I went to New York to see Mina. And we went to Gauge Intention, and this was my first foray into buying yarn that I didn't already have a plan for. I just bought stuff that I liked with no plan. So that was cool. And I don't know, it just really spoke to me. I really, really love this color. So then I paired it with, this is Shalimar yarns, the purple Shalimar yarns, Breathless base. So it's fingering weight in the Byzantium colorway. And I just bought that at my local yarn shop in Madison, Connecticut, Madison Wool. So that's what I'm wearing. It's not cold in my house, but I'm a baby when it comes to being chilly. So I was a little chilly, so I decided to put a shawl on. So anyway, yes. So we went to New York Sheep and Wool. My sister Sarah slept over Friday night, so it was fun. And we left Saturday morning bright and early. It wasn't that early. It was about 6 a.m. Takes about 2.5 hours to get there from my house. So yeah, we drove in, and obviously we drove there. I don't really know what to say. So we had heard that there was a giveaway for the first 100 customers at what am I trying to say? I can't even think of the name of the place. It's so terrible. Wing and a Prayer Farm. So I don't know why I was blanking on the name. I guess I should be more prepared. But anyway, we had heard that there was a giveaway item for the first 100 customers at Wing and a Prayer. So that's the first thing that we did when we got into the gate, was we went there. So I broke the seal on my purchases with a very huge purchase. Like I spent almost all my money there. Just kidding. I got a magnet for my car, knit local. So that's pretty cool. I'm not a big like bumper sticker magnet person. I have one thing from my vet on my car, my dog Diggs, Clinton Veterinary Hospital. But anyway, it's kind of cool. Things really have to speak to me for me to put it on my car. So I'm really excited it's a magnet. So then I got the free gift, which was the issue 23 of Taproot magazine. So it's pretty cool. I've never heard of it before. I mean, I'm sure a million people have, but I had not. So it's really interesting. The things in this issue are farming with oxen, edible mushroom cultivation, simple sourdough, cooking with seaweed, taproot cowl, crochet sweater pattern, turmeric for health. So it's very cool. There are recipes in here. So apple cinnamon buns with honey, sweetened cream cheese crust. The pictures in here are really cool too. And then there's also patterns in here. I just opened this up. This is a crochet pattern, ebb and flow pullover. I don't crochet, but I really want to learn, and so maybe that'll be. I really want to learn to make stuffies. I think crocheted stuffies are the cutest. So maybe I'll do that. Taproot. There's a cowl in here too. This is knitted. So there's patterns, recipes, cool stuff. So I haven't really looked at it yet, but I'm excited. So that's neat. So that was my first purchase. And then we kind of just systematically went through the barns. I I can't remember if I even bought anything after that. We went through some of the barns. My sisters bought stuff. I was looking for sweaters quantity of worsted weight for the stone cutter. So I looked at wool. They have really affordable. They didn't have any the color that I wanted in worsted, but my sister Sarah bought a sweaters quantity for my brother. So that was cool. We just kind of bebopped around. It was Amy's first time, so it was fun to go with her. And then we went out to kind of a tent outside of one of the buildings, barns, I should say. And Amy bought they were having a great sale. It was half off these huge skeins. I can't really think, it was like 2,600 yards she got lace weight, and it was half off, so it was $40. So that was pretty cool. And when we were out there, we saw Jen from the Stormpost podcast and Andrea, the Cat Lady podcast, and also Cat Lady on Instagram. And we met them last year at Rhinebeck, and so it was really fun to see them this year. It's really fun to go to Rhinebeck and you see all the people on Instagram or talking in their podcasts about going, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get to see you again. So it was really cool, and I really like them. So then they told us that I think it's white birch. I'm sorry for bending over, but anyway, white birch was there. So last year when we went, I went to India Untangled, and white birch was there, and I bought a skein of yarn, sock yarn, self-striping. So when they said that they had left India Untangled and were coming to Rhinebeck or are at Rhinebeck, Jen told me, I was really excited. So we had to go right over there. So there I bought 2 skeins of self-striping yarn. So this one is Study in Peach Mint. So this is their 75-25, and it is 2 skeins of 50 grams each. So that's really cool. It is already split and skeined into, I think they're supposed to be perfectly matching skeins. But that's really awesome, because that I think is the biggest pain. I love self-striping, and not that I would ever not buy it because it's a pain, but I think winding it to get it to match, it's just another part of the process of doing it. So, but I didn't have to. It's already done. And that must be why it's so expensive. So not to complain about it, because I obviously bought it, but they were $40 for a skein. So after leaving with my 2 skeins, I had a little bit of sticker shock. I did not have buyer's remorse, but a little bit of sticker shock. Like, I cannot believe I spent that much money on 2 skeins, but it's time intensive. These are the longer repeats too. They have some with shorter repeats that I think are 35. So it's more labor intensive to dye, to skein up. So I'm not saying it's overpriced. I'm just saying it was sticker shock. So then this one I got for my husband. This is Express Yourself. This is also split into 2 skeins of matching. And this is gray, orange, and red striping. And this is good because I knit my husband a few pairs of socks now, and I really just knit the same colors. I mean, he likes blues and greens, and that's what I tend to knit. And so I picked up one that was very, very nice green colors, like really nice. And I was like, but I always knit him green socks. He's got like a million. I'm like, but these are really nice. So, you know, and then I heard someone else say, like, I try not to buy this color because I feel like I always buy this color, and then when I look at my stash, I don't have any of the color that I like because I'm always telling myself that I'm buying too much of it. So I am a firm believer in, like, if that's what you wear, I mean, that's what you wear. Have 100 blue sweaters if you love blue, but he does like reds and grays and orange and stuff. So I did venture out and got this instead, and I was right, he really liked it, so I'm excited to knit that up. I have a languishing whip. I have literally 1 whip. I have 3 whips, but 2 of them I started literally recently. I don't have any old whips except these socks. So it's like a rustic yarn. I was trying to knit them 2 at a time. It was too finagly. It was hard. It was hurting my hands. So I put them on 1 at a time. I finished one of them. I just have to put the heel in. And then the other one, it is excruciating to get to that heel part. So I don't know if I'm gonna try to finish those before I cast these on. I also have to knit him a sweater, which I know he cares more about than the socks. So I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just let those be a whip for forever and complete these to get a little bit of joy out of it. But I haven't decided when I'm going to cast these on. But anyway, that's that. I'm really excited about this one. I really love the colors together. Amy also got the Rhinebeck colorway, which I was going to get there. It was like very fall colors, oranges and reds and stuff like that, browns. And it was beautiful colorway, but it's not really it wasn't really my style. So I'm like, why should I buy a skein of it and take that from someone else who might really love it just because it's a Rhinebeck color, right? So I didn't get it. And then at the podcaster meetup, I saw Andrea, and Amy, my sister, told her, Andrea the cat lady, that she got the Rhinebeck colorway. And Andrea was so mad because when she was there, the basket was empty and the lady said, oh, I'll be putting more out, but in a while. And I think it was like right after she left, they put them out. So she was really irritated. And I'm like, I should have bought it. And then I could have given it to her. Oh, well. See, it's like, I didn't want to take the opportunity away from someone else, but it doesn't matter. That's my white birch story. And it was packed. It was packed. Everyone says that it wasn't as crazy as it was last year, which I don't really remember. I don't remember it being terribly crazy last year. There are some booths that really are, but like overall, I did not feel an overwhelming sense of crowd. So I can't really remember. It must be true that it was less busy, but White Birch was a very busy booth. So you had to take turns getting in there. Okay, so I got that. So then we decided to go out and get in the falafel line. I put that on my Instagram story. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. The line looked very long, but these people are professionals. They have lots of people making the food. So really was only 10 minutes in line. I think maybe 15, which is not outrageous. So we had falafel, which was delicious. So then it was about 12:30. The podcaster meetup was at 1. And so we went over to the hill, ate, and then went to the podcaster meetup. So Amy was very excited. She bought a bag that had a space. It was like a shopping bag, a reusable shopping bag canvas that had a Sharpie marker attached to it and had a space for autographs. So she was very excited to go, it being her first one. So we met so many people at the podcaster meetup. I wish I took more videos or pictures. I really just didn't. I don't know. The selfie is the new autograph, by the way, but I don't know. I just didn't. So anyway, who did we meet? We met Adrian of the Freakish Lemon podcast, his sister, Gabby from Once Upon a Corgi, who dyes yarn under Once Upon a Corgi as well. We saw Jen and Andrea there. Right before the podcaster meetup, we sat on the bench and we met this girl, Erin, I don't know if that offends anybody saying girl, but her name was Erin. She was from Louisiana, which was really cool. She's from Lake Charles, Louisiana, which the South is a little bit close to my heart because my father grew up in Mississippi, and so his family is still down there. So I don't know if I've been to Lake Charles, but I've definitely been to New Orleans. I've been to Louisiana. So that was kind of cool to meet all the way in New York, meet someone. She, I guess, was up with her grandmother and mother visiting a family member, I think brother, in Buffalo, New York, and then they were going to go down to Connecticut. And she's like, well, we're all the way here. We have to go to Rhinebeck. So, Liz. So that was cool. And she was having a great time there. So that was fun. Okay. So then of course we saw Mina of Knitting Expat Podcast. Her and my sister Sarah are friends. So that was nice. I got to see her. Kim from Chasing Acorns. With that in mind, With that in mind, I do have to say, when we were at the podcaster meetup, we had different things that we were had handed out. So I had showed it on a previous podcast. I made some key progress keepers. My sister Amy made little stitch markers. Let me get those actually so I can show you because I don't think I showed them. So I had made key progress keepers. I don't know why I just repeated that. You only saw it 3 seconds ago. So Amy made these little stitch markers and they were all different kinds. I got these ones, they're playing cards. I don't know if it's gonna focus, but anyway, they're little playing cards, laminated. So that was cool. Then there were like these little ones that look like postcards or just little pictures. So that was fun. I love the back too, because the back is like really like a playing card. Cool. But anyway, so, and then Sarah had made these. These are, These are Notions pouches. So she had made some last year that looked like, okay, do you want to sniff them? That's it. There's nothing there. Okay. You're in the way. Good girl. Okay. So she made some last year that, thank you. Thank you. That's very sweet. Go get a toy. Where's your toy? Last year she made some that were in the shape of triangles. They probably smell. She has a yellow lab, so they probably smell like him. So she made triangles that they look like kind of like a rectangle, and then they fold up and are triangles with 2 snaps. But anyway, this year she made some squares. So she was handing those out, and before we left, when she came on Friday, she told me to take some, and I was like, oh, I'll just take, like, I can't remember which one I picked. I think I picked this one. And I said, oh, I love it. It's so cute. And she goes, take more, take more. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll take 2. And maybe I'll take this one. And she goes, take this one because there's only a few. So I took this one. Look how stinking cute that is. Smiley face, balls of yarn. That's better. Then she was like, take this one. There's only a couple of this one. This is a sheep that's knitting. And then I said, well, I might as well take the sparkly one because I love sparkles. So I took the sparkly ladybug one. And I took the flamingo one. And then I took another one because I wanted to give one to my friend who was supposed to go to Rhinebeck with us, and it just didn't work out. And that's okay, but I took one for her, and it was the coolest. I really thought, I'm like, she'll like this one. But then I'm like, well, I'll give her options since I took 6. So it was fruit all over it, like real life fruit, not cartoon fruit or anything, but like a picture of all of this fruit. So anyway, and she took that one. That's the one I picked for her. So anyway, that's what Sarah was giving us. So anyway, at the podcaster meetup, we saw Kim from Chasing Acorns, and she did this last year too, where she had these little envelopes and they had stitch markers in them, and then you picked one, and if you picked one of however many there were in there, you'd get a prize, right? Oh no, it's in here. Okay, good. I thought I forgot it and I had to go get it, but it's in here. Okay. So anyway, she said, pick, if you get one that says whatever, you get a prize, right? So I never win anything ever, which isn't terribly true, but I don't win a lot. Hardly I win. So I opened it up. She said, if you get the white rabbit, you get either a resin necklace that she made. She had them all in a pouch. You get that pouch or something else, right? So I go like this. I open it up and I go, I won! And because I never win, so I just thought it'd be funny to pretend like I won. And I'm like, I'm just kidding, I didn't win. And I pulled it out and she goes, you did win. And I was like, oh, and I looked on the back, I won the resin necklace. I couldn't believe it after joking that I won. Maybe that should be my play. Anytime I might win something, pretend that I won, and maybe that's like the way that I get to win. Anyway, so I got it's a white rabbit stitch marker, progress keeper, whatever it is. And then so I got to pick out a resin necklace. So I was wearing my swag, which was green colors, which you probably saw in my last one. So I decided to pick out a matching necklace so I could wear it right away. So let me put this back in here. It's not going in. And I got a green necklace. So it's really cool. I won. Yay. Or as Amy from Stranded Podcast goes, hooray! So anyway, so that was very fun. Yeah, so then we met Eric from Sticks Plus Twine. My sister Amy was fangirling really hard about everybody. But anyway, she ran up to him, got his autographed. We met Melissa from Spicy Homemaker. She was like, I think that's Melissa, but I don't want to say anything. So I just tapped her on the shoulder. I'm like, are you the Spicy Homemaker? And she's like, I am. So we did get a picture with her. Met Amy from Stranded Podcast all the way from England, and it was her first Rhinebeck, so that was fun. She's so sweet. Everyone's so sweet. I was excited about meeting this person, Diana, she is Cake and Vikings on Instagram, but she also designs knitwear under Paper Tigers. And she has a podcast, Paper Tigers Podcast. So that was very fun to meet her. She is from Canada. I think she used to live in Iceland though, so she does like a ton of color work and stuff, which is beautiful. And she has very good tutorials. She doesn't have a ton of them, but one of them, the one that I just recently watched, was a Latvian braid, and that was really cool. So Then I met her friend, Stephanie Earp, who is Stephanie Earp LE on Instagram. And she also has a brand new podcast called Fast and Loose. It used to be called, for 3 episodes, it was called Stephanie Earp Podcast. For the 4th episode, she changed it to Fast and Loose and explains a little bit why she calls it that. So that's a cool story. And then I was also very excited to meet Lisa and Melissa from Espace Tricot, which is a knitting shop in, I think it's in Montreal, Canada. And then they also have a podcast. So that was super fun. I mean, I know a little bit of French, so I was just able to say, hi, how are you? And whatever, but that was cool. And I got something from them too. I should just leave this bag up here. They were giving out these Espace Tricot little tags, project bag tag, I think is what it's called. And it says, what happens in Rhinebeck at Rhinebeck stays at Rhinebeck. So that's fun. They were very, very nice. I was very happy to meet them. I also met, I've got a couple of other things in here. Lisa from, she's a fiber nymph on, I think on Instagram too, but she has a podcast. And she also dyes yarn, and I did a swap with her one time last year. I think it was podcaster swap. So that was cool. And I got a little sample of yarn from her. And I guess this is a new base. I don't think I got the card. Did I get the card that went along with it to explain? I think I did. To explain the base. Smoothie base. This is Fiber Nymph Dye Works. Smoothie base 75-25, and it's 46 yards, I think 46 yards. Oh, and this is her Rhinebeck color, Rhinebeckles 2018, variegated and speckled. So that'll be fun to put in my Cozy Memories blanket, which I brought with me to knit on, but I didn't do any knitting while I was there. Okay, so then I just want to make sure I'm not missing. Okay. So then we also met, Lisa Fiber Nymph, Jenny, Tiny Paper Foxes. We were in one of the barns and they were looking at sheep, and I turned around and my sister Sarah goes, that's Jenny and Devin so Jenny's is she Tiny Paper Foxes anymore? I don't know. They have the woolen, Hand Spun and Woolen, I think is their podcast, which they haven't done for a long time. I think it was almost a year, 10 months. And then just put up a new episode, which I haven't seen yet. But they moved, have a farm now. So that's kind of fun. So anyway, I asked my sister Amy, do you want to go over there and say hi? And she's like, no. So then we're at Podcaster Meetup and I'm talking to Amy and I turn around and she's like right there. And I'm like, oh, hi. And she's like, hello. And I'm like, we saw you in the sheep barn, but we didn't come say hi. So anyway, stupid story. I saw her. Nicole from Hugh Loco. I met her and chatted with her for just a minute. I'm just gonna put this stuff back in here. Okay, so then we saw Chili Knits, Connie Chili Knits. So she gave me a pin, Chili Knits pin. So that is fun. And I saw Sarah Nova Crafts. Ravelry is Sarah Nova, and she gave me a pin. So that is cool. So that was Podcasters Meetup. So then, because I have Invisalign, I had to go brush my teeth after my falafel, after the Podcasters Meetup, which I did. And then I went over to Miss Babs. So Sarah had gone first, and she knew what I was looking for too for a sweater. So when I met her, she had a handful, which was 4 skeins of worsted of this purpley. So I was looking for like an oxblood colors, kind of like the color of my nails. But anyway, for my, what's it called? I just panicked for a hot second that I hadn't been recording for the last 10 minutes. And I had just been talking to myself for 10 minutes, but it's recording. So anyway, so she had this kind of more wine color, was purpley color. And she said there was one, but there were only 3 skeins and you need 4. I told her how many yards I needed. And I was like, no, it's really beautiful, but let's go over there. She also had a Yarn Baby, which was the Katahdin base. It's a sweater's quantity in a color. And she was like, well, yeah, I want to go back because I'm not sure if I want to, look for this. So there was actually, by the way, no line at Miss Babs. I think there was like 4 people in line, which equals no line at Miss Babs. So I couldn't believe it, but the booth was a madhouse, like it always is. So we went back and she saw it on she goes, it's all on the bottom. So she saw it on the bottom and she goes, that's the color that I wanted to get you. But there were only 4, or only 3. She goes, but they were on the other side. And so I can't tell if this is one of the 3, because the way that the racks were set up were like, you could reach all the way through the rack. So there was a front side and a back side, but you could reach all the way through to the back side. So she goes, I'm not sure if someone pushed this in here and this is one of the 3, or if this is a bonus skein and there are actually 3 on the other side. So I said, well, let me go look because I really love this color more than the purple. So I crawled into the Miss Babs booth and there were 3 skeins on the other side. So I have a total of 4 skeins. I'm very excited because this is the color I was looking for. It is Yowza light worsted, and this one skein is 560 yards, about 8 ounces, so 225 grams. It is a wild iris color, so it's not repeatable, which is even cooler, and it's best dressed. So I have 4 of them. I'm very excited. I know I say that all the time, but I really am. So that was cool. And then she ended up changing her color too. Let me see if that's all that's in this bag. That is, there's my other 2. So that was it. And then that was almost all my money. I also want to show you this bag. My sister's husband, Amy's husband, is in the Navy. So he's gone for 6 months right now, which is really crazy. But he made a stop apparently in Scotland, where we don't know where. It's top secret because it's the Navy, right? So I have no idea where he's going, where he's going to end up, where he'll be, but he can tell us once he's there where he is. So he sent some stuff home for the family. He's such a sweet guy. So he sent home these bags from Edinburgh Castle. Reusable bags. And so I brought this with me to Rhinebeck to hold my stuff. So it's kind of it's kind of part of the haul, but not, I didn't buy it there. And it kind of made me feel a little special because if people didn't ask, they might think that I went to EYF. I have never been to EYF. It's a dream. It's a dream to go. But anyway, so then leaving the building, it was warm in the building and it was crazy packed. Oh, we walked by Primrose Yarn, which was like crazy packed. We were walking outside. I met up with Amy. Amy was just milling around doing whatever. She was not with us at the Miss Babs line, but we saw her in line and she had sock blockers, which I wanted. So I said that I wanted wire ones. I couldn't find any, not that I looked terribly hard, but I didn't see any of them. So she had these. It's a pair. And I said, oh, look, you found some. And she's like, yeah, she was in line. And I said, how much are they? And she goes, $6. I'm getting a pair. So this was at Bitsy Knits Fiber Arts. I have bought yarn by them before, so I'm familiar with them. But they had all kinds of stuff at there, not just yarn. They had these, and they had like stitch markers and needles and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, and then that was it. That was the last of my money. So it's about 3:30. We didn't decide to walk through. That was in building C, where Miss Babs is. But then I think building B or D, I can't remember, has books and stuff in there. And we were done. I spent all my money. Sarah spent all her money. We decided to be done. So I think it was like 3-ish. And we decided that we were going to try to go to the bathroom before we got back in the car for the 2.5-hour drive. So we are standing in line at the bathroom and clouds are rolling in and we feel a drop. And we feel another drop. And we're like, what? So we get into the bathroom. When we're washing our hands, I'm like, is that rain? It was pouring rain. And the bathroom was mobbed. So staying in the bathroom was not an option. So we ran across to the barn. And we were sitting, not the barn, it was the, what do they call it? The show arena or something where there's like bleachers and stuff. So a bunch of people, it wasn't terribly crowded, but there were a bunch of people sitting in there waiting the rain out. Pouring rain. And there we met, I can't remember her name, but she's the Crocheting Hoovian, Knitting Hoovian. I'll put it in with her name. But we met her. She is also a podcaster, and she hosts the virtual knit night, which I've never done before, which I would love to do. So it's like, oh, when's your virtual knit night? And she's like, every day pretty much, but the big day is, and now I can't remember what it is, but I follow her on Instagram, so she'll probably post it. But anyway, so she was very funny. So she was very knowledgeable because we want to go to Vogue Knitting Live this year in January in New York City. It's not far. I think the train, I'm a half hour from the train in New Haven, and then I think it's like 2 hours on the train to New York City. So it's totally doable to go to VKL. And, but she said that Maryland Sheep and Wool is great. So we're a drive from Maryland. Probably, I think it takes my husband and I 5 hours to drive to Baltimore. So it's not doable. It would definitely be something where we'd have to get a hotel and stay over, but that's totally feasible too. So, you know, once you go to one, it's like, you want to go to them all. Maybe not. Maybe some people don't, but, so that would be totally doable to do that. And then we're also Stitches United comes to Connecticut, I think every other year. So I think this year it's not here, but next year it is. So I think we talked a little bit about that. I can't remember where she said she was from. Excuse me. So anyway, that is it. That is my Rhinebeck haul, modest haul, I think, compared to last year. Maybe not. I can't remember. But last year we went to India Untangled. We decided, well, this was kind of a last minute trip. I didn't think I was going to go. And then we decided we're not going to bother with the hotel. We'll just drive up and drive back. And so, and India Untangled is out of control. I mean, if you have any kind of anxiety, it is mad in there. So I know that it changed venues, so it wasn't there anymore. And I'm not sure how, I can't remember. I'm sure we talked to people about it, but I don't know if that made any kind of difference. And where India Untangled is where India Untangled was last year is where Needles Up was this year. So next year, I really, really, really want to go to Needles Up really bad. So I think I'm going to try to make that happen next year. But yeah, it was fun. And having gone last year to Rhinebeck, I felt, you know, like I didn't feel like I had to spend all day there. I didn't feel like I had, you know, I knew what I was going for. And so that was nice. And it was good. So anyway, that's it. That's my trip and my haul. And I hope you liked it. And I think I'm going to start vlogging again starting tomorrow. It is more manageable for me. And I know that on my Instagram, more people said podcast, but literally like 16 people watched my podcast last week. Not that I'm complaining, but like 50 people watched my blog. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But I never said thank you so much to returning viewers. I really appreciate your support and coming back and checking me out, and to people who are new viewers. I hope you liked what you saw, and subscribe and comment and questions down below, and make sure to give me a thumbs up. That's what all the YouTubers say. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just, anyway, thanks. Bye. Let's say bye to Lizzie. Lizzie, you want to say bye? She's checking out. She does not a huge chewer, by the way. She's not she'll chew on like bully sticks, but she's not like a chewer of shoes or toys or anything else. Wood, for some reason, I have a nitty naughty that she loves to chew on. And I was doing something with it. What else do you do with a nitty naughty, Adrian? Scanning up yarn. And I put it on the couch next to me, and I'm just doing my thing, whatever. And then I hear her and whatever, and I look down, and she's chewing, and I'm like, what are you doing? So now that these are wood, I'm going to have to keep them out of her sight. By the way, this is a size large. I didn't say that. Women's 8 to 12, men's 7 to 11, which I think my husband's a 12, so I'm not sure. His socks will still be a little too big on this, but whatever. So yeah, she loves to chew on wood for some reason, but she doesn't chew on my furniture. She's a cuckoo bird. I'm going to go now. After already saying I'm going to go. We'll see you next time. Say bye-bye. Bye.